Hey guys, Nicola here. What I wanted to do today was come to you guys and give you an update, for better or worse, what has happened since our Texas winter storm. Now, a week ago, it was 0 degrees, and a day like today, we have had highs of the 70 to 74 degree range. It is quite a difference, and we have definitely been experiencing the love of this type of weather compared to a week ago. But I wanted to share with you guys both the positives and the negatives that came into our landscape and garden, like I said, for better or worse, from this winter storm. So follow me and we'll show you guys what we're talking about here. So I did plant some bulbs. They're narcissus daffodil type bulbs this past fall. And I did cover these guys with sheets as basically just a precautionary measure. These guys are still looking very good. Of course, we did recently trim our bushes, so there is a bit of debris that you have seen. Now, as far as the bush trim that's happened after we were done with our winter storm, although upon doing that, we discovered how dry and not so good these bushes are looking. We've not seen them look like this at this time of year before, and we're going to have to see. We are not sure if these bushes are going to make it, but of course we would like to wait until the spring or summer and see when everything gets back into its full leafy gloriousness to see if we're going to have to take these out. I will share with you guys that while we are talking about, potentially taking this out, obviously we have a lot of bare grass. It's due to our tree roots sucking up all the moisture. So we have been talking about changing up this front landscaping anyway, putting in a flower bed, putting some surface level that is going to allow the tree to still suck up the moisture it needs, but not have this bare space in our front yard that we currently have. We're definitely prioritizing the garden here, but this is something probably in the next year we're going to accomplish. So it would not be a total loss if we were not able to keep these bushes because we weren't in love with them anyway. It came with the house, but just wanted to share that with you. Now, if we take a little bit of a walk back, we have a couple of plants here. This is an iris that I planted 2 years ago. It flowers at the most random times. In Texas, we are able to have blooms of these irises. I had one in October, I had one in December. It's just because we have crazy weather, but I do think these will make it. We still have enough green here where I do think that this will be able to recover. As far as our grasses here, I do not know a variety, but it is perennial. It always comes back for us. I have never seen this grass this color. I am uncertain if this made it. We will have to see. It is not completely dead, so there is some potential for some additional life to come back. This is one I am not certain of either. We'll have to wait and see. What I did think that was cool that I wanted to share with you guys is I made an attempt to plant our Texas native wildflower, the bluebonnet. Now, I planted them in this space, and all we do is heavily mulch this space because we have not really planted anything here before. But one seed germinated out of this space, and it survived. So even our native Texas wildflower, the bluebonnet, still survived and looks gorgeous. So I'm very excited to see that and can't wait to see this bloom, spread its own wildflower seeds, and hopefully just have a patch here that we can look forward for years to come. Now, the one thing that I have in my little herb bed at this point in time is chives that come back every year. This is like the 4th year that we've had these same chives in this space. I have not seen them. They were starting to come back for the spring, and I have not seen them look this bad before. Their cell walls just completely bursted, so I am waiting to see if that comes back as well. But that definitely killed off our chives. Really everything else died as soon as we had our first light frost. This is Bougainvillea, which is a very great summer flower for us, but I didn't expect for that to survive the winter anyway. So this has been like that. If you guys see that, I just wanted to share that with you. We just haven't updated it for the fall and winter weather. So anyway, let's go out back and show you guys some more. Okay, so now in the back, I wanted to share with you guys what I was able to fully manage and protect all of these pots here, this is all potted stuff that I just used because I was continuing to want to grow and I ran out of garden bed space. I have broccoli rabe, I have carrots, this is spearmint here that's coming back beautifully, and this is rosemary. Over here I have 2 pots of mustard greens. In between this chair is my mixed herb pot. And in this grow bag, I happen to have 1 baby bok choy plant that made it, so I brought that in as well. They stayed inside for about a week. We did not lose power, but we were it was very hard to keep the inside cold, but we happened to manage to protect everything enough to where it all survived. We did, some mitigation damage there. It doesn't look as great as it did a week ago, but hey, they stayed alive and they're not totally ruined. Now, when we go this way, I want to share with you guys something that I thought was really exciting, were the strawberries. I have had strawberries in this whiskey barrel for 5 to 6 years. If you hear barking, it's Atlas. These strawberries sent out runners this year, and probably times 6 its production this year. We did a mulch with our leaf mulch this past year, but the fact that they're this green, I'm thrilled, and I think they're gonna make it. So I can't wait to see what spring is gonna do. Now, in front of me, if you guys wanna take a look, we do have 2 fruit trees. They are a cherry multi-grafted variety tree, as well as a stone fruit multi-grafted tree. They're in their dormant stage. We do not know if they're going to survive. So we'll have to wait until they leaf out, if they do, to see what happened there. Now, I did recently redo the landscaping on these window boxes here. And I want to share with you guys both kind of the good and the bad from this, arrangement here. Out center, these are our violas. They are basically, they're a cousin to the pansy. They're what we consider to be our winter flower. And they're crispy, but there is some green underneath. So I'm hopeful that these can come back in the next couple of months. Behind this is Dusty Miller. Dusty Miller is a nice silver-leafed plant. Although there are a couple of leaves that show damage, I really do think that this is able to make it too. So that's really exciting. And over here is a daisy that can survive about 30 degrees, which at the time I planted, we didn't have forecasts below that. Obviously, this didn't make it. Dogs are playing, so any audio that you can hear there, they just love to be outside and to play with each other. So, moving on, we have a whiskey barrel planter here that we actually use as, basically just a stabilization of our lights that we have in our backyard. But Nick was brilliant enough to consider the concept of only filling this half with concrete so I could plant flowers with the rest of it. I did do similar viola planting, and it's the same with anywhere I have violas, but they're green on the very underneath, crispy on the top, so I think if I heavily prune these, they might make it. In the back, I don't even remember what I got, but it was some sort of daisy-looking yellow perennial plant that I purchased 6 months ago that was supposed to be a perennial in our area. It looks super, super dead. I wasn't fully in love with it, but the fact that they're so black and crispy, I'm really, really doubtful that they're gonna make it, so we will have to wait and see. Now behind me, this is our berry patch. We have 8 raspberry bushes and 4 blackberry bushes. Some of these are a deciduous type that lose their leaves anyway, but this truly is our first winter that we have kept these. So we do not have the experience to know if this is beyond what they can handle or not. Obviously, this is not their fruiting time, so we are just waiting to see how they look. In my personal opinion, they look healthy enough where they could come back. We'll just have to wait and see. So, moving on. the sad state of the garden. I'm quite disappointed by everything. I had lettuces that were here and they're just crispy and yeah, they just pull right out. This was a Merlot purple lettuce. There was more over here. Just these didn't make it at all. Along this bed here, I had red vein sorrel, which it's kind of 50-50. There is some that survived. So red vein sorrel was able to make these temperatures. That's the thing I'm most excited about. All of my artichokes died. Artichokes are perennial here. Those didn't make it. And I have one kale plant that made it. All the rest of the kale died too. I was quite disappointed by brassicas in general this year. It was my first time growing broccoli and cauliflower, and they could not withstand it, which is so sad. You can see even the poor, this used to be a baby head, and it just did not make it. So there was cauliflower here, broccoli in the middle, an additional cauliflower plant just to the side of that. And I had just started planting onions. This is the time of year where we plant onions. We do it by sets in January to February. I purchased this set of sets that are a little bit more developed, and it seems very hit or miss. We have some that I don't know if they're gonna make it, that show no signs of life right now, but we have others that do with this green. So I'm waiting to see what this turns into, because as I see it now, I'm a bit surprised by, some of the smaller ones did survive where some of the bigger ones did not. So it seems very hit or miss. So I started leeks, shallots, and a few different varieties of onions by seed last fall. And we were doing that because it takes that long to grow the seeds big enough to where you plant them out by the set size that you would purchase in the January timeframe. What I found quite interesting about this is even though they were smaller than the sets that I purchased, some of those did still survive. I have some leeks here. As you can see, they're tiny. They're as thin as a pencil. But yet we still do have some that show some life. So in the next course of the week or so, we'll wait to see if anything comes back. We'll start ripping stuff out. I did just start planting some spring peas today that I'm really excited about, but before we rip everything out, just wanted to document this process because as we're trying to share what we learn, we also want to document this for ourselves and see how things change over the years. So anyway, I wanted to share with you guys, not all is lost, but we did lose a significant amount. Some stuff very much impressed me at its survival, other stuff disappointed me. So stuff to learn for the future, stuff to know and share with you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. We are doing very well. We're really happy and glad that those super low temperatures are over with. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.